R&B sounds, eclectic sounds out of Jamaica. You're talking about Devare. He's going to be on in just a few minutes, but for right now, I'll let you listen to a few of his songs.
People are gonna talk about this love that we found, and other people gonna try to get you down, but I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. Oh, I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. No, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. People who love to talk will always have something to say. And it no matter what you do, they gonna talk anyway. Some of them wanna run off their mouth. You're my girl, are you run the route? So step up and go and flaunt your clout. And if them come in your yard, just run them out.
I kind of feel attacked, you know. I feel like Devare has been paying attention, you know, just got a little glimpse of a little window in my life, and he made this song for me. But that's okay. I'm going to vibe with him to find out exactly his input in terms of this song and what he has done. But the message is clear and it's current. Thank you, Devare.
Anyway, oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. Oh, I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. No, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. People who love to talk will always have something to say. And it no matter what you do, they gonna talk anyway. Some of them wanna run off their mouth. You're my girl, are you run the route? So step up and go and flaunt your clout. And if them come in your yard, just run them out. 'Cause I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. And all the haters gonna hate. That's what haters do. So all the hate they gonna hate, don't let it get to you. They gonna do what they wanna do, so just do what pleases you. Long as you know your love is true, I won't leave, I'm gonna stay right here with you. 'Cause I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. No, I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. People are gonna talk about this love that we found, and all the people gonna try to get you down, but I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. No, I don't care what people say. I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh, I don't care about the games they play, 'cause this your love is here to stay. Oh, I don't care what coming. And believe me, I'm gonna make it up to you. I wanna make love to you, lady. Yeah. Let's make love tonight. I wanna touch your body, lady. Touching you feels so right. I woke up this morning with you on my mind. Now I'm trying to get to you on time. This job I have is keeping us apart, but a stitch in time saves nine. And so I booked a flight to be there before morning light. I wanna make love to you tonight. Oh, I wanna make love to you, lady. Let's make love tonight. Oh, I wanna touch your body, lady. Touching you feels so right. I'm not gonna try to hide this feeling, no. This feeling of love I have for you. And my only cure is sexual healing. Oh. It's clinically proven, tried and true. So please don't think I'm rude. You've got me in this mood. I wanna feel your body move. Oh, I wanna make love to you, lady. Yeah. Let's make love tonight.
Yes. To my listening audience, I tell you, right? Man, I keep having these persons that are hitting me up and say, what? They love the songwriting and the music and everything that's going on with Devare. But guess what? Ain't no time like the present, because I have a few questions for him, just like my listening audience as well, because I'm very impressed by the songwriting and, of course, the overall structure, the production itself. So we have in studio Devare. Devare, how are you?
I am doing well, Empress. After all, I'm talking to you, right? So that means I'm supposed to be over the moon. I'm not even starting to head back as yet. Understand?
Well, man, I tell you, I am welcome. I'm glad to have you in studio. I really appreciate you coming through as well. I have the chance to go in and listen to the collection of your production and stuff like that, and I am completely loving what I'm hearing as well. Of course, right out the gate, I played This Year Love Is Here, and let me tell you something. I kind of feel like you had a window into my life, and you can see exactly what's going on. You're right. I say, write the song for Empress Rose now.
Man, you make me have a talk of the things that make everybody know sight.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real with you for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to push you out of bed to work out. Nobody is going to make you eat better. But here's the thing. Nobody has to, because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. 2.5 million people, each doing the Beachbody program that fits our own goals. Over 80 to choose from, some that take just 20 minutes a day. Nutrition plans that teach you how to eat healthy and still enjoy food. What we all have in common is we know it's not easy, so we help each other. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. That's why I'm inviting you to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
If you're hearing this song on your phone, in your car, or in aisle 7 of the grocery store, you're not really hearing it. You're not really hearing the hypnotic disco synth as clearly as you could. You're not really feeling the bass line in your chest. And you're certainly not hearing a century of sound innovation. The only way to hear this song the way the artist intended is to hear it on a Denon home speaker. A speaker built with as much craft, dedication, and precision as the music it plays. Which means you won't just hear the song, you'll feel it. Denon home wireless speakers, crafted by the sound obsessed, for the sound obsessed.
From Empress Rose. Let me start. No, so I heard you say that, and I almost keeled over in my chair. I was laughing so hard, I almost injured my neck like you did. It's like, okay, so right before we get into talking, right, because I'm a chatterbox myself, so let me just do this. I want to send the biggest package of appreciation to you and your entire team, every single person alive that was a part of where we are right here and now. I want to send a sincere package of gratitude.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, without the audience, we are just simply one in the crowd. And so I also want to send a very extra large package of gratitude to every single person under the sound of my voice, and that will be under the sound of my voice, considering the era that we're living in moving forward. So with that said, let's just get back right into what you were saying. So the song itself, okay, is one of those convictions that happen when you get tired of your chatting about people chat. You understand?
Yeah.
The thing about when something is right is that there are always going to be haters. There are always going to be naysayers. That's just the way of the world. And so I just had this thing about delivering it the way I did, in the sense that I didn't want to scream at anyone. I didn't want to shout. I just wanted to say, hey, guess what, no? You know, so I'm going to love you till I'm dead. I just like,
yeah.
So, I'm in a business with people. I don't care what the man say. I just say it then, mommy. You understand? And I think everyone can relate to the idea that when you stop listening to the external voices and the naysayers, you will find a path to happiness.
Well, let me tell you, I am appreciating this song, and of course it is like, go ahead, preach, because because as I always tell persons, when you're doing something right, you always find the attackers that they come from each and every handle, and then you have as well, persons who like to basically jump on a bandwagon, not recognizing exactly what's what. Don't understand that. My parents say, sometimes I hear people chat about 2 or 3 side to a story, sometimes even 4 or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's best when you get the ducks in a row instead of talking about things that you don't know. But
the funniest thing about it is that I think it's even better yet when you stop listening, because every individual is just that. There is no individual on planet Earth that you could stick with a pin and watch another bleed as a result. So therefore, because we're not a collective, it's in your best interest to listen to your head. That is where you need to really listen. That's where your focal point needs to be, because forever and forever, amen, so let it be, there will always be people who don't agree with you. There will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. There will just be others, period. And so the moment you start letting them run the show, then why do you have a brain?
Yes. I appreciate the song wholeheartedly. But before getting away from the song itself, what year did you decide that, listen, this is what I would like to do professionally, and you decided to jump on that bandwagon and say yes? When did you or someone else discover your talent, and when did you start doing it professionally?
Okay, so as far as discovering the talent, I'm going to go to the root. It was ever since I was a child, I was a church singer, so it was always there. But I'm a realist, and therefore watching and observing coming up how difficult it is to make a breakthrough in music, I decided it was not financially smart for me to go in that direction. You understand? So I focused on an education. Well, that education led me to be in the field one day, and I don't mean a farm, I mean in the working field.
Right.
And I was working, and I was being, as we say in Jamaica, being taken out a winding. Some people are checking me out, and I don't even know this. So because music appeases me, it's the thing that keeps my heart in the place where I want it to be. So whatever I'm going through, I find the song that matches, because a lot of people are not aware of this, but everything that has ever happened in life, there's a song about it on some level or the other, in some genre or the other. So here I am trying to ease the pressure of the day off of me, and I'm singing, and there were some people on a second floor balcony, and they were listening and watching, and I wasn't really realizing this was happening. So I'm like right on the beach, and the wind is blowing everything in their direction, and then I hear this applause, and I turn around, I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what them people are listening to me? Better go on with them people.
Introduction
And
to the
then
main stage.
right? As I'm saying, it totally take me to wind. It's like if I hear dance, like there's no one is watching. I was singing like no one is listening.
Right.
You hear me? And I'm singing up the song, and then they go, "Oh, you got a beautiful voice," and they're up there and they're shouting this, and this thing came over me that, hey, why don't you get back to music? Right there and then, I decided that I would pursue the idea, not get into music itself, because being educated have a different perspective. It changes how you look at things in a realistic manner versus what people around come tell you about. Yeah, man, you're good, man, and chat all of this stuff, and then every time you check your pocket, all you find is lint. You understand? So,
I love it.
So, the next thing you know is that I started to investigate the journey. So this now goes directly to answer your question. Was around 2004 I actually started to look into the possibilities of the journey. As I did this, I realized that I will have to dedicate a part of my salary, and so this will become like a hobby. That created a resolve in me to make my music, to make what it is that I want to share with the world. I was not going to be the next anyone. I had no intention of ever being like that, because I have always been of a leader mindset. I am not a copycat. I do not copy other people's things, right? So fast forward to, I got the opportunity to go to England just because of being in a place and a time. And when I went there, it was my first opportunity inside of a studio, then, let's say. This is 2006, okay? So I learned how to control this voice in that environment, but I never really wrote songs. I didn't think I could write songs. I was just someone who I could sing the crap out of somebody else's song, and that was good enough for me. As I said, it never started out as a career path initially, right? So the next thing you know is I'm on a bus in England, and I saw two different facets of life. One, two people trying to kill each other, and the other was two people trying to create life, as in to procreate. Yes?
Yes.
And with that said, I was like deathly homesick right there and then. I mean, just homesick, ridiculously homesick. And as I'm sitting there, I was like, what? Like I'm talking to someone. And I realized it's almost like a voice giving me dictation. So I grabbed a piece of paper and a pen from my bag, and I wrote down how I felt, exactly how I felt it. I didn't try to rhyme anything. I didn't do anything in particular. I just wrote it down, stuffed the paper back in the bag. When I got to the studio, I gave the book to the person who brought me there. And the person said, "Yo, Bridget, what make you so effy lie?" And I said, "What do you mean lie, man? What do you mean about lie?" The man said, "You're homesick, down." I felt like a part of me moved and come back. Because if I can state how I feel, and someone else, without me even giving them any precursor to it, could interpret this exactly like how I felt, I realized I had something. And that's when I actually really identified the voice that speaks to me. I'm not crazy, people. I am so not crazy. It's just that inside of you, there is the ego and the super ego.
That's
and they're
true.
always in constant battle with each other. And sometimes one or the other is talking to you, and you might represent it as whatever you choose. You could call it God, you could call it whatever you want. I'm not here to preach to you. But what I am saying is there is a voice that says, lick down the man, and another voice say, hey boy, I prison you want. Oh, that's what I mean. You understand? And that voice is what inspires me to write. So when it comes wherever, whenever, however, and it has no regard for what I'm doing. And if I don't lock it, I lose it.
I love it. Well, on that note, I am going to jump to one of your other tracks, and I'm very interested in learning more about this track right here, and we'll be right back. The Way We Were.
Sure.
Memories like the corn pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another for the way we were. Could it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? And if we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we, could we? Memories are so beautiful, and yet some we choose to remember, oh, some we choose to forget. So it's the laughter we will remember when we remember, oh, the way we were, the way we
Yes. So to my listening audience out there that's really enjoying this awesome music, just like I was enjoying this music, let me tell you something. I had an opportunity to listen to have Richie Stevens on last week, and you know, it kind of brings me back when I'm listening to your catalog and when I'm listening to your music as well. Talk about a man with talent. I'm telling you. I interviewed him, and I just kept on going back to his songs all weekend, and to where it is that I even had to introduce the show with Born Blessed, because the song resonates with me as well, you know, reminding me that I'm born blessed as well.
True.
Yes.
True.
As we talk about the song, the way we were, and you know, what made you decide to like jump on this bandwagon the way we were?
Okay. So all right. So when I decided to make an album, it was actually a complete album of songs of that nature. I wanted to represent my parents. My mother and my father are like night and day. So my father is one of those non-Christian people, in no church. My mother, she no miss church, and they separated when I was like 3 years old. So I grew on two different planes, so to speak, right? So the next thing you know is I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, how do I represent both parents without having either one say either thing about the other on that level? And I started to look at it, and I was like, if I ever make an album and call it My Father's Songs, then my mom is going to just jump all down my throat. And if I ever make an album and call it My Mother's Songs, then my father's just going to jump all down my throat. So I was like, how do I meet them in the middle? Okay, so I have to make songs that my mother would listen to, even though she may not jump up and say hallelujah to it, but she would listen to it, and then it would get my father to dance. So that's what I did. I created a space for myself in the songs that I heard growing up. So that's why there is no cover of no song under 20 years old on that album. This particular one, however, I wanted to represent the album Reflections, because that's what it's called. It's literally called Reflections, and then there is in parentheses, but only in the subliminal, only in your mind, that says of how it used to be. You see, so as I'm saying that, listen to the way we were, reflections of how it used to be, same exact statement. So that is my statement, because I don't know of a song called Reflections that I wanted to do. So that is like the title song for the album, right? So I chose it on that basis.
So most recently, we're going to get your latest release in just a few minutes. But let's get in between that release and what you have been doing over the period of time. So we just came out of the pandemic as well. So there are various artists who are having issues with acquiring shows. Myself, belonging to one of the networks, for producer network, it is that a lot of the festivals have to honor the persons who they had already, booked for before
the
COVID.
blank space of the 2 years, yes.
Right. So now it is that there's a rush where artists would like to get on shows, but unfortunately that's what's going on. Have you performed since COVID? Have you done live performance, I should say?
No, I have not. I have not done any live performance for someone else. Anything that I've done is self-promotion.
Okay. Are you planning to perform? We get into the end of the year, and there's I don't know about you if you celebrate Christmas and if in terms of New Year, but there's some bookings as well that go for artists this time of year. Will you be performing? What does the listening audience have to look forward to in terms of performance for the rest of this year?
Okay, so as far as bookings, I have not gotten any bookings because I guess I fall under that same umbrella that you mentioned earlier, wherein it's like a rat race, like down a funnel.
Yes.
You understand? And everyone is trying to get on there. So all of the people who have already been established and has these massive names are the ones that are getting picked first. And another thing is that every time there is a major event in life, and this is the natural order of things, every time there's a major event, on the other side of that event, there are multiple changes. Like, take, for instance, at the advent of the internet, music sales became a whole different ballgame. So like that's what I mean. So post-pandemic is no different. At this point, we are where the people who have the purse are a bit timid still.
That's
to
true.
actually write you that check. So that even make it double worse for someone who doesn't have that huge massive need. So that's where I fall into that category. But I'm humble and I wait my turn.
I hear you. So besides the show, you have just released. You have a new release, Gratitude. When was this song released?
When was it? I'm sorry. When was it? What?
Release. When was the release?
September 18th.
September.
Actually, that song is a part of a compilation because I remember listening to you interview Althea Hewitt just now, and you mentioned that you wear multiple hats. Well, it's the same thing with me. I see music as just that, and it has multiple facets to it. And so if something comes along and opens up itself as a viable something, not necessarily a profitable something,
right,
but a viable something, there is this thing in me that says, always try to be inclusive. And so I try to help others, so to speak. So with that said, it's a part of an entire album. The album is called Essences of Life for a reason, because I don't do anything without reason. So it's called Essences of Life, and it speaks to many facets of life, many aspects of life. It's an 8-song, 1-rhythm album, and I am co-producer along with my manager, Natalie Lawrence, on that project. And Gratitude is one of the songs of that project.
Okay.
So
wow.
the entire album got released.
The entire album got released. Okay. So as we look forward to, are you there?
I lost you for just 1 second. Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I lost you for just a second.
All
What
right.
did you say?
So, as we look forward to not necessarily the end of this year, but next year, and this is coming from Patrick out of the Netherlands. He would like to know, do you have plans to take on the road for 2023, and what countries are you considering?
I am considering Europe because of the flavor of my music. So that side of the world is where I think my biggest audience would be. And yes, I do have plans. I am working on it very diligently and trying to make it happen. But the thing is, I am not the only deciding factor. So as I said earlier, I hope that some of the irons that I put in the fire will
come to fruition.
That, reality, yes.
Will come to fruition. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we have Rob out of Johannesburg, South Africa. He asks, do you have material where you have collaborated with other artists, or you are just that artist who do singular productions?
Okay, so I have one song at this point that I've collaborated, but I'm going to say something that probably is going to blacklist me, right? You see, what happens is a lot of these artists, their ego is bigger than them head, okay?
Oh,
so
you won't get
blacklisted
for that. You won't get blacklisted for that. The truth just hurts. They'll hate you, but that's it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they're gonna hate me, but none of them can love me. I don't care. All right, so I'm serious. None of them don't want to keep an eye on door. So what happens is this, right? When you approach these artists, the first thing they want to charge you, okay, as if you're buying something, because they believe that you're trying to ride on their coattail. So it's not a merger of equals. That is the hardcore truth of it. Okay. The next thing about it is, I will not be spoken down to by any human being that also has an anus, because you know better than I am. I don't care who you are. You're not better than me. I'm not better than you. We're all humans in this big globe we call Earth. And so if I am not going to get respect from you, I am not going to give you any. It's just that simple. I walk up to you with respect. If you will not treat me likewise, I will walk away. And that makes it extremely difficult to collaborate. But yes, I have one collaboration with another artist, and I look forward to doing others. As a matter of fact, I have written a couple of songs that I would like to approach other people with, but as I said, it's extremely difficult to get it to happen.
Okay, so you're saying that, just to reiterate, you're saying that it's very difficult to actually other artists who you would like to collaborate with because of the fact that they're on a higher pedestal, or they think they're on a higher pedestal, that you are not collaborating. But let me ask you this question as well. Would you consider, because to me, hierarchy is subjective in terms of we have a platform and persons think that they're better, and there's different levels to the music itself. How about some of the younger artists who would like to get out there and they have a particular sound, or mentoring some of these, like for instance, not necessarily Jamaica. There are various artists in different parts of the world that need a push as well. Have you ever considered recording with an artist who is not less than yourself, but is just a new artist coming out, or another emerging artist as well?
Absolutely. Every single waking moment. As a matter of fact, the album I just mentioned, Essences of Life, that was a part of me. That was literally physically a piece of me doing just that. Okay? So I am quite open to this, and I openly seek it. The thing is, though, I am a principled person.
Yeah.
And so if you don't fit mentally with me, if we can't jive, we can't work together. Because I am a very strict professional, and I do not compromise my standards for anyone. So under that condition, I might get labeled that, I think some are hype, I think some is soup and whatever. Frankly, I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, if we're going to work together, it will be a professional environment. That environment will be created and it will be maintained all the way throughout the relationship. Anyone that strays from that relationship, I think, have the right to end it.
I love it. All right. Well, who could imagine it is that there's...
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real with you for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to push you out of bed to work out. Nobody is going to make you eat better. But here's the thing. Nobody has to. Because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. 2.5 million people, each doing the Beachbody program that fits our own goals. Over 80 to choose from, some that take just 20 minutes a day. Nutrition plans that teach you how to eat healthy and still enjoy food. What we all have in common is we know it's not easy, so we help each other. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. That's why I'm inviting you to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
If you're hearing this song on your phone, in your car, or in aisle 7 of the grocery store, you're not really hearing it. You're not really hearing the hypnotic disco synth as clearly as you could. You're not really feeling the bass line in your chest. And you're certainly not hearing a century of sound innovation. The only way to hear this song the way the artist intended is to hear it on a Denon home speaker. A speaker built with as much craft, dedication, and precision as the music it plays. Which means you won't just hear the song, you'll feel it. Denon home wireless speakers, crafted by the sound obsessed, for the sound obsessed.
principle that needs to be exercised within the music as well. And of
Absolutely.
course, and the norm as well, where it is that people have flexibility and enjoy themselves. But I hear you loud and clear. We're going to vibe out because it is that I could talk to you all day, but however, it is that
I know.
yeah,
Kenyatta.
Kenyatta is up next. And but before you go, could you tell our listening audience what to expect from the gratitude song, because we will vibe out with that song.
Okay. That particular song, Gratitude, it's available everywhere music is sold on planet Earth. And what that song is actually speaking to is the idea that being alive is such a beautiful thing that it in and of itself is enough to be thankful for. And it touches the idea that war is ugly. In these exact same words, war is ugly. Only bloodshed and misery, nothing but pain and loss of life. So that's what the song is about. It's just trying to have everyone jump on the bandwagon and try to kill off each other, because none of us can live on this planet by ourselves. So that is what that song is about.
Okay. All right. Well, before we do, one last thing. Do you have any shout outs, and can you share your social media handles with our listening audience?
Absolutely. So I don't reel off like a whole bunch of social media handles. What I did was I created a website, and from that website you could segue to anything Devare. So it's devaremusic.com, DEVARE music.com. Music spelled correctly. Once you go there, any aspect of Devare that is available to the public will be right there. So it's just one easy thing to remember. As far as shout outs, I'm gonna again shout out to Empress Rose and her entire team and every person that has contributed to where she is on this day, right here, right now. My manager. She is the real workhorse behind the bar, because the partnership is one that, you ever hear of something that's made in heaven? It's like that. And so we work well together, and so I'm always tipping my hat to her. To the audience, to every single person under the sound of my voice, I will not be able to call every single one of you by name, but I appreciate you, and you should know that. To my family, and to every single person that has ever wished me well and encouraged me to continue doing what I do, I salute you. With that said, much respect, one love straight across the globe from Devare.
Devare, we are going to vibe out with gratitude. It's been a pleasure having you come through. And of course, it is that you're always welcome to come back into our studios for future interviews.
Thank you so much. And as well, they say, what with my sister?
As I journey through this life of mine, this I've come to realize, that it's such a blessing to wake up each day and say hello to a new sunrise. Taking the moment of each day, a special moment to be kind, really takes no effort at all. In fact, it helps to relieve the mind. When there is love, peace will thrive. So give our justice like the bees gives to the hive. War is ugly, bloodshed and misery, nothing but pain and loss of life. Like the flowers needs the sun, they need the rain. Amidst the joy we have the pain. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, sometimes we fall. But to rise again, that's the beauty of it all. When there is love, peace will thrive. Give I justice like the bees gives to the hive. War is ugly, bloodshed and misery, nothing but pain and loss of life.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the sounds of Devare. Yes, talking about a vibe, talking about principle, and knowing exactly what it is that you would like out of your music and approaching it from a professional perspective. Because you something, when we actually approach this business from a professional perspective, we sometimes get this pushback as well, right? And they say ignorance, when it wears its ugly head, it also dwells in evil places and persons who actually belong to a certain perspective. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I could go on and on. I could go on and on. But at the end of the day, what I would like to let you know here is that please follow Devare. Go and check out his website. And for this gratitude song that's playing in the background, or any song from the collection that we have played Gratitude. We have done The Way We Were. We have done Let's Make Love. This is This Your Love Is Here as well, right? You guys can reach out to me and I will be gifting whichever song that you would like. I would be gifting 5 copies of each. So let me know